Okay, we're ready to get started. Thank you very much, everybody, for your patience in getting us launched. This is Gary Paquin, along with my brother Tony Paquin on today's webinar. We appreciate you showing up on this first Thursday of spring. Maybe it's the second Thursday of spring, and hope it's wonderful in your part of the world. It's beautiful here in Florida. We're going to go through this brief presentation. Once again, if you have the GoToMeeting panel open on your screen, just click that little orange arrow up there and that'll get that panel off the screen for you. At the end of the presentation, we'll open it up for questions. So if you've got a question, just go to that GoToMeeting panel and you'll be able to submit a question. Thanks again for joining us, and we're going to go ahead and get started. iRemedy is a company, iRemedy Healthcare, literally is a system that was designed for a mission of smarter supply saves lives. And as we go through our presentation, I think you'll see what I mean when we talk about specifically what our mission is and what the company has been able to do, and what we're going to be doing is changing the way that medical supplies are distributed in the United States. Our mission is to deploy the first AI-driven medical supply marketplace that provides price management and transparency for the world's largest catalog delivered by diversified global distributors and manufacturers. So we're going to have the largest online catalog of medical supplies in the world. It's a big market. It's a $500 billion market, total addressable US market. It's over $1 trillion worldwide. And it really comes down to, as Tony and I have worked with healthcare professionals for the last 15 years, is they're looking for better prices, they're looking for better selection, and they're looking for more reliable sourcing. When we look at the last couple of years in particular, is the grim reality is that global healthcare supply chains failed. And when that happens, shortages continue, and supply chain failures were exposed, as we saw firsthand over the last couple of years. And Tony, I'm gonna let you talk a little bit about the healthcare supplies market.
Sure. So first off, it's great to have everybody on the webinar today. It looks like we have a massive turnout. I think upwards of a couple hundred people. It's very exciting. We've been working on medical supply for about 5+ years. Gary and I and our other partners have a long history in healthcare and in the technology. The supply market is obviously very big. It's a $100 billion market. And while many of us, as we lived through the pandemic, experienced all kinds of problems and felt those very much as part of our personal lives, professionals in the healthcare world have been feeling those problems for decades, really. There's constant problems with shortages and unreliable supply caused by the globalization of the medical supply industry. It all moved overseas, mostly to China. And then part of the other problem is just unfair pricing. If you have 1,000 doctors, they're probably paying 1,000 different prices for the exact same product. And as a result, you have very high markup and very expensive products. So it's an industry full of high prices and product shortages, and really has not been modernized. It's been run the same way for the last 20 or 30 years. So we've attacked that problem by bringing together some real state-of-the-art technologists, and we'll talk about that shortly.
And a couple of key points, as Tony highlighted, as we've discussed, is supply chains definitely failed during the pandemic, and they continue to fail. And what's taking place right now in the medical supply market, as we'll share with you, is there's a lot of intermediaries, and as a result, as Tony mentioned, high price markups by distributors, dealers, and group purchasing organizations. When we look at healthcare supply chain dynamics, that which we as consumers and healthcare professionals face every single day, first off, is healthcare product demand has skyrocketed, and it continues to set records. Every single day we hear in the news about a shortage of this or a shortage of that, a shortage of medical supplies, of drugs, and so forth. obviously it's a problem that's not going away. The other thing that's occurring dynamically is that online purchasing, both for B2B, business to business, and business to consumer purchasing is accelerating. Because as we move to this virtual world over the last 3 or 4 years, people are more comfortable in terms of going online. So there's this rapid movement to move from old traditional medical supply purchasing with paper catalogs and so forth to online purchasing, B2B and B2C. And that's iRemedy's business model. When you look at this back-end supply chain, well, one thing that we've discovered over the last couple of years, much to some people's surprise, is the majority of our medical supplies are manufactured worldwide, I mean, overseas, in Asia in particular. And then because of that, when we've got factories and global distributors, those shortages and those problems continue to occur. So that's what iRemedy has been very much in the middle of. I'll talk a little bit about our leadership team, primarily my brother Tony and Jim Harding. Tony, of course, is our CEO. I've worked with Tony for, goodness, over 30 years now. And Tony is a noted healthcare consultant and author. He's the founder and CEO of Agency One and AMS. We sold that company to CNA Insurance Company and then grew that to be the largest insurance software company in the insurance industry. Very, very successful company. Tony's authored actually 2 books on healthcare in America, and one of them is coming out this year. It's going to be a very exciting book because it's going to be about this exact topic, supply chain and supply chain problems with medical supplies in the United States. Tony is also the founder and CEO of MetaNext. We did an IPO on the NASDAQ on that. Jim Harding is our Chief Technology Officer. Jim, prior to iRemedy, was the VP of Technology at Amazon. He actually built and launched the Amazon Marketplace. He has a patent for that. He started 2 separate tech companies that he sold to Jeff Bezos. That's how we got to know Jeff over that number of years up in Seattle. Actually, a couple of very successful companies and sold those to Amazon. He was the founder and chief technology officer of Multiscale Health Networks. It's actually a technology company in the healthcare space. That's where we first met Jim quite a few years ago. And he was also right out of college, along with a number of his close colleagues, was the founder of Serverware, which later became a part of Microsoft. They were the team that developed DOS, and Jim actually has a patent with Paul Allen in the database technology that Microsoft uses. So Jim, as a technologist, was involved with the launch of Microsoft, is involved with the launch of Amazon, the Amazon Marketplace, and now the work that he's doing at iRemedy is simply phenomenal. So Tony, talk to us a little bit about the hyper marketplace.
Absolutely. So part of the way we wanted to solve this problem is we developed some artificial intelligence applications. In fact, have filed over a dozen US patents, a few of which have already been issued. We believe this will be, or already may be, the world's largest healthcare products catalog available publicly online. It's over 500,000 products and growing. Our goal in the near term is to have over 1 million products. This is all highly proprietary technology, and this AI system that we developed not only manages the front end, what you would think of as like an e-commerce store, but also manages the complete total supply chain. So it automates, communication with factories and finding products and maintaining counts and so forth. We've already served over 10,000 clients, including healthcare professionals, government agencies, manufacturers, and consumers.
Tony, could you talk a little bit about what exactly does first mile supply chain mean? I know that question comes up a lot with people.
So there's been a lot of discussion about the last mile, and Jim worked with Jeff Bezos on that when he was at Amazon, and they were creating what we all know of as Amazon.com, the everything store, and they obsessed over the idea of the final mile. That is delivering a product to your home or office. They've done a great job. And we have logistics partners who do that well for us. However, what has not been developed well is what we refer to as the first mile. And that's the connection from the global manufacturers, although we hope to develop more USA-based manufacturers, of the medical supply chain. During the pandemic, that's what broke down. The factories had the product, they just couldn't get it to the people in the United States that needed it. And that problem has gone on for decades. So we're very focused on using our platform in this really unique and proprietary technology that enables hospitals, healthcare providers, government agencies, consumers, surgery centers, doctors, dentists, chiropractors to order product directly from the manufacturers. It's just way more efficient, lower cost, more reliable, and more modern way to do business.
When you think of first mile, another interesting way to think of it, because when we think of first mile and last mile and so forth, the last mile, literally in our minds, we can think of this physical representation, right? This distance. The first mile, you can almost think of that as the first digital mile. And to Tony's point, when you look at medical supplies all over the world, hundreds of thousands or millions of purchasers in the United States, millions of different pricing scenarios, you have billions and billions pieces of data. And one thing, the breakthrough on the technology, our technology, proprietary to iRemedy, was being able to find all of those products worldwide, find all of those price points, and be able to manage all of that data, something that couldn't be done without this new breakthrough technology, a first mile or the first digital mile of supply chain management. So Tony, talk to us a little bit further about the proprietary technology. And Tony is still with us. Tony is dialing in from a hotel right now, so I'm not sure that he is still live and has internet access. So I'll go ahead and.
No, I'm.
Oh, go ahead, Tony.
In fact, yeah, my internet definitely is cutting in and out, but wanted to talk a little bit about this proprietary technology. First off, it is all custom and proprietary, designed by Jim Harding, the same guy that designed the key technologies at Amazon, as well as at Microsoft. So really top tier, state of the art. It effectively turns the internet into a global products database. And you're going to see where one of our goals is to develop the smartest, largest catalog in the world. In fact, we refer to that as the UHMPC, the Universal Health and Medical Product Catalog. But the idea is that this artificial intelligence platform really uses the billions of computers that are on the internet to access, learn, and develop the highest quality, smartest catalog in the healthcare world. Then additionally, we've created these AI technology agents. And these agents automatically maintain pricing and availability, and they process orders with both our clients and our suppliers, and they track and report on that. And those agents give us scale capability. So we have this technical ability to manage these highly complex problems that really you couldn't manage without our kind of technology. The pricing and availability problem in the healthcare, in the medical supply chain is just too complex to be handled the old school way. And this was a breakthrough when Jim and I started discussing this about 5 years ago. We realized that the power that was coming with artificial intelligence enabled us to be able to solve this problem in ways that couldn't have been done as recently as 5 or 10 years ago.
I find it interesting too, Tony, when we went through the process a number of years ago of creating the patents. I think there were 12 or 13 of them that were filed. The law firm that did the filing of these, they specialize in technology and filing patents and so forth. you recall the comments that the attorneys told us at that time about this technology?
Yeah, they recognized that this was really breakthrough technology. And you know, there's a lot of challenges in the world today, but there's reasons to be optimistic because there is great power now coming to the market with artificial intelligence. And you know, we talk a little bit about some of the dangers of that, but really there's tremendous opportunities. And our suite of technologies is part of that movement. And our ability to use the millions or hundreds of millions of computers that are out there on the internet, our ability to use those to improve the medical supply chain is really a breakthrough, and that's why that law firm reacted the way you did. And they were, that group had filed thousands of patents, and we're just super excited about what we were doing and continue to be.
Yeah, I think they recall, as I recall, they filed tens of thousands, like 30 or 40,000 patents
Sure.
in technology. And he says something like, "This is the most revolutionary, important technology." This one individual said I've seen in my career, and he was the head of the patent group. So that was quite an endorsement. It talked to us a bit about the USA impact. I think this is a very, very important movement that's taking place in the United States.
So there's a huge problem in the medical supply chain. And it has to do with the fact that the medical supply chain, like everything, went through globalization over the last 20 or 30 years. The great majority, probably 90% literally, of all our drugs, devices, and medical supplies are made overseas, mostly in Asia and mostly in China. And that's what creates this very precarious and, in fact, dangerous environment. iRemedy is a leader working with the government to improve this situation. Take a long time. It could take a decade or more. So first off, we are focused. I've written a book on this. This is a personal passion of mine. I co-founded something called the SAMS Coalition, which is a group in Washington, D.C. to promote legislation. Refers to the SAMS, refers to securing America's medical supply or medicine supply. So we're very focused on that, and iRemedy is the solution for these new factories that are being built in the United States to get their products to market. So we identify all these companies, we work with them, we promote them, we help them with the government, and we promote them to large healthcare providers. There's a huge growth opportunity, and these companies are all looking to iRemedy because they know we're open to working with them, and we have a modern way to get their new factories products to the marketplace. And additionally, we played a leading role with the government. We were probably the largest vendor associated with a key part of Operation Warp Speed, for example. We provided over 1.2 billion needles and syringes for Operation Warp Speed. And we've had, I'd ballpark around a dozen other contracts with various government agencies as we continue to build out the government segment of our business. Two things about the government. One is they're arguably the largest healthcare provider in the United States because of the VA. And secondly, is they view the medical supply chain as a national security issue. So there's just there's technology opportunities to use our platform, and there's product distribution opportunities. So we view this as an important part of our strategy, has been in the past years, and will continue to be so as we see this USA Made in America movement continue to take hold.
And certainly over the last year or so, we've seen the world economy and global supply change because of world politics and conflicts and everything else. So this is becoming more important and vital than ever. And I can tell you, as I've witnessed the work that we've done and the people that we've met with, that there are some really massive changes happening with the US government and will continue to take place, emphasizing this redistribution and an emphasis on not only manufacturing in the United States, but what we call friendlies. So North America, much of Europe, and so forth. So it's going to be an exciting time for all of us. Tony, talk to us a little bit about specifically the UHMPC strategy.
Absolutely. So we, as I described, have developed this technology, and our goal, I often say, is to develop the largest and smartest medical supply catalog. As far as I know, ours is the first AI-trained or informed medical supply catalog. Our goal is to be the largest because ultimately our goal is to have every product in the world in our catalog. So that would make us a better medical product search engine than Google and a better medical products marketplace than anyone, including Amazon. There's really two ways to look at what we're doing with the Universal Health and Medical Products Catalog. One is it's a place where you can go buy things, the marketplace. We sell products. That's our core business model. We distribute products to doctors, hospitals, surgery centers, government agencies, and to consumers. But additionally, we're building data. We're building knowledge about that supply chain. We know where the products are marked, where they're manufactured. We know their FDA approval status. We know all of their pricing activities. We have, activities with group purchase organizations and other distributors. And so the goal is to build not only a large catalog and make it available for purchase, but also to build one with intelligence. And then we'll create data value in that catalog for shareholders.
In summary, I'd like to share a couple of things and have Tony weigh in on a couple of summary points too. And I see we've already got a couple of questions coming in. Once again, if you want to make or send us a question, just open up your panel on that little orange arrow, click on questions, type it in, it'll show up on my screen. I've already got a couple there. First, we believe that the UHMPC, the Universal Health and Medical Products Catalog, is the largest and smartest one on the internet. So that means a better search engine than Google, a better marketplace than Amazon. Those are pretty bold statements. And this highly proprietary technology, in order to do that, because you had to have something that could go out and look at the billions of websites out there and create this catalog, as Tony described, the technology had to be created. And that technology was created by the developer, by the creator of Amazon's marketplace. Jim Harding is probably one of the top data scientists in the country, if not the world. Our team, our executive team, Tony and myself, and also Jim Harding, have had a successful track record of acquisitions, sales, and a NASDAQ IPO. Our revenues exceeded over $50 million in 2022, and we're looking for nothing but upward growth. And then we will, as we discussed, we're in a $100 billion market in the United States. So, Tony, I don't know if there's anything that you want to add to that.
Well, I simply wanted to, re-summarize. We are in high growth mode. Over 50 million in sales last year. The technology is achieving great things. We're super excited. We're seeing an amazing amount of enthusiasm from the market and even from these investors as part of our Regulation A offering. Just the turnout on this webinar alone is incredible. For us to get 100+ people showing up like this on a weekly basis is amazing. So, we're just super excited about the change and the opportunity. And as I commented earlier, while there are a lot of challenges out there in the world today, I also believe there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic. And, the modern inventions are going to greatly improve, for us, healthcare, which is really what our mission is. And taking us back to smarter supply saves lives. When the medical supply chain fails, the difference is people may die or suffer. So we really are in a life and death business. And if we can improve the supply chain through our technology and business practices, then we can impact lives. We can save lives and improve health. And that's ultimately our goal and our mission.
Well, just a clear indication of that, something that we practically experienced, and that is Operation Warp Speed, delivering 1.2 billion needles and syringes that nobody else could find. We were able to find because of our technology. Because of those timely delivery of those needles and syringes, over half of all vaccinations in America had an iRemedy needle or syringe used. And the impact on that may have been in the tens of thousands or more of lives saved. And so, that's a firsthand experience of what that really means. So we're going to open it up for Q&A. Also, for further information, feel free to reach out to me directly. My email is there, gary@iremedy.com, along with my direct number. If you have a question, go up to the GoToMeeting panel and open that up, and there will be an opportunity for you to post questions. This is a great question, just came in. Said, do you have a link to the iRemedy Red Chip money interview on Bloomberg for those who missed it? And that's a great question. I do not have that link, but I will certainly get that for you, and we will send that out to everybody on this call. We had a great interview. I haven't even seen it myself, but I think, Tony, it was the one that you did that got posted to Bloomberg. That's fantastic. Another question came in, Tony, it says, is anyone else doing this main competition ?
Absolutely. We get that question a lot, and there just really isn't right now. So we're very unique in the sense that we are, on the one hand, technologists. You look at Jim, was with Microsoft and Amazon, and Gary and I had developed a software company in the insurance industry and later a NASDAQ company. But then we married into the healthcare world about 10 or 15 years ago. And those two worlds tended to not connect really well. Very major medical supply distributors, Medline, McKesson, Cardinal, and others. These are companies that have revenues in the billions of dollars, and in many cases have been around a long time, 100+ years. But they are not necessarily modernizing with the kind of technology that we are. So we're the new guys in town. We have the new business model and the new technology. So I guess the short answer to the question is we are not aware of any company that has technology like ours in the medical supply chain. And furthermore, I would say I'm not aware of any other company that is a distributor that has the level of commitment to the go-to-market needs of the USA-based manufacturers in the medical supply chain.
Tony, we have one other question just came in. It's a great question. I guess this is always an important one. This comes up frequently. What is the planned exit for investors?
Absolutely. So, we have a couple of missions here, right? So one, we talked about smarter supply saves lives, and we're very committed to the medical supply chain in the United States and improving it. That's mission one. And then mission two, or parallel to that, is giving our investors a return on their investment. And we often get interest from what we'll refer to as strategics, other large companies that may want to own us. And Gary and I have done that in the past when we sold our first software company to a large group of insurance companies and then went on to run it for them for many years. The other approach is an IPO. And we have also done that, taking a company public on the NASDAQ. We have been preparing iRemedy for an IPO. We're audited. We have the securities group in place. And we have been discussing with bankers, investment bankers, who are proposing IPO transactions to us. And that's probably our near-term target. It's very, very difficult to talk about timelines. And the key is to prepare the company, get it ready, and let the stock market be in the best possible place. If I had to say, I'd be looking towards Q1 of 2024.
Well, thank you, everybody. That was the last question that came in. Appreciate everybody getting on the webinar on this beautiful spring day, Thursday. Appreciate you joining us. Once again, for any further information, feel free to reach out to me directly at gary@iremedy.com. Also, a copy of this recording will be available if anyone would like a copy of the recording. We'd be happy to send that to you so you could either listen again or pass it on to any colleagues. So
Hey,
thanks,
Gary,
everybody. Yeah, go ahead,
Gary,
Tony.
I just want to add, one last thing is, we really are on a mission to get a great return for our investors and also to serve the market. And to that end, we're asking everybody to participate and support us in this process. Become an investor, become a shareholder, and become a, kind of like co-promoter. Everybody knows a doctor. Everybody's got a friend that needs medical supplies. And we really are looking for a large group of partners to help us achieve the goal. So we really are here to invite you and tell you that we value everybody and greatly appreciate and value the support that we've received as we've worked on this important project.
All right. Thank you, everybody, and look forward to connecting with you in the future. Have a great day.
Great. Thank you.